We've been discussing the themes of the Power of One. An important topic throughout the book is family.
Okay, so how do you define family?
I consider family to be the people that are very supportive and don't have to be blood related.
I think family is someone that is blood related. Family is family, no matter what.
Where do you think that?
Well, family doesn't always have to be blood related. Like PK really struggled with making friends, but the friends he eventually made really became his family in the end.
I would agree with that, because PK really seemed to have looked at them more for support than his real family.
I still think that a blood relation is what makes a person part of someone's family. You grow up with your family for the majority of your life, and most of the time you don't grow up with your friends. PK had a mother and a grandfather, and PK really cared for them. I would say that the other people were more of his friends than a family.
Well, PK didn't even grow up with his mom. She hired Nanny to raise him. So I agree with Claudia and Nicole because they weren't as supportive as his friends.
So what have his friends even done to show that they're a bigger part of his life than a blood-related family?
It seemed like his family didn't even want him around. Just like Julianne was saying before, his mom hired Nanny when she should have been doing it herself. I really think that his friends were just there for him all the time, and PK always seemed to turn to them for support.
In the book, we always saw that PK would almost always search for Doc for the answers he needed. He never went to his mother or grandfather as much as he went to Doc or his other friends.
I think that they also taught him a lot of life lessons throughout the story. Doc was a fatherly figure. He taught him music and all about nature. PK even visited him in jail because he cared about him so much.
When Doc died, PK said something had happened to him before he knew Doc was dead. He was really distraught when he heard the news. I think that if his grandfather or mother died, it wouldn't have impacted him as much as Doc's death.
Now that I'm hearing all of your reasons, I really think that PK's friends are considered to be his real family. But how else does his real family differ from his friend family?
Well, his grandpa sent him off to boarding school, and that doesn't seem like something his friend family would even consider doing to him. I also really noticed that his mother was gone for a large portion of his life, and that made his nanny more of a motherly figure.
I noticed that his dad was not even mentioned in the story. I think that makes sense why Doc became a fatherly figure to him and helped him throughout his personal struggles.
Now that we've established that his real family is made up of his friends and supporters, do you think that PK looks up to his friends more than his family?
Well, whenever he talks about something motherly, he always brings up Nanny. He never brings up his mom. She was there for him way more than his mother, even so that PK felt bad when he met Gideon because Nanny had to leave him in order to take care of PK.
PK also really looked up to Hoppy. He opened him to the world of boxing, which in turn had PK set up a lifelong goal of his, which was to become a welterweight boxer. With the help of PK's friends, he always had a support system.
Another thing that I've taken notice to is that PK's view of his family really changed throughout the story.
I noticed that too. He used to look to Nanny for everything, and at the end of the book, he didn't know much.
At the beginning of the story, he said that his mother went away to a concentration camp, which shows just how young he was and how he felt that his mother left by force. Throughout the duration of this novel, PK realizes that it wasn't a concentration camp, but she left somewhere because of her nervous breakdowns.
When PK fought Nanny's son Gideon, PK realized that he didn't need Nanny in his life anymore, which was a turning point for him. Ever since PK was young, he had to rely on himself, but now, as he's grown older, it seems that he can rely on his friends to help him out when it's needed.
They pushed PK to achieve his goals. PK wanted to go to Oxford more than anything, and when he didn't get in, he went to his friends for the support he needed.
I think that with the added support, PK was more comfortable with telling his friends about how he was feeling than his blood-related family. I think that is because he was more distant with his mom, and it seemed like they never had any type of relationship to talk about.
His friends have always helped PK when he was down, and I don't think the same can be said of his mom and grandpa. They more so seem to ignore the issue at hand.
His friends have just really been there for him more than anyone else that has tried
Why
to
is
be a
this
part of
even
his life.
important?
I think it really shows the impact that support and guidance can have on a person. Who knows where PK would be if it wasn't for his friends that have always supported him in the beginning. I felt that he might have given up on